been some speculation about food poisoning being more widespread than just Kamari. Was it multiple guys dealing with that, or was that a factor more so than just him?
We had a few guys that didn't feel well, and so don't know how in depth I really want to honestly get into it. To be honest, we had a few guys that didn't feel 100%. I'll put it that way. So it hit people kind of varying degrees, but and it's just part of road ball, man. You know what I mean? Like it's part of road ball, and no excuses. We're not a excuse making program. I'm not going to start now.
But guys who are actually playing had symptoms.
There was a few guys. And again, we had people that had varying symptoms, but there was a few guys that didn't feel their best. Yeah.
Was it on both sides of the ball, or just the ones that looked obvious?
No, just a few people. Yeah, it's not like we had some. I don't want to make it out like we had some widespread 50 people with food poisoning. Like that's not what it is. We had a few people, a few staff members that didn't feel in tip-top shape, but this is what it is. You got to deal with it.
Any update on Kilian or Elijah?
Yeah, Kilian will for sure miss these next two. I think a possibility to get him back after that. Everybody else is just kind of wait and see right now.
How did you evaluate John Ray when he stepped in for Kilian during the game?
Yeah, he did a pretty good job. He came in and operated us pretty well. It was good to get him some reps. It's obviously great for us that we can bring in a second center and have a guy like that's played a lot of college football. And yeah, he's new to our place and a little new to our system, but he's played a lot of ball. And you could tell a little bit once he got in there. He made a couple of mistakes, but all in all, we still moved the ball really well when he was in there. And now, obviously, having the chance with this bye week will give us a chance. He was already getting a lot of reps, but obviously a chance to pump a lot of reps into him and really get him ready. And so I know he'll be, really excited and confident to go into these next couple.
When he was called for that, illegal man downfield, was that just like jitters? Like how did he kind of respond to that?
Yeah, you got to respond. It was a tough play, and you got to respond, and he did. I thought that's where you saw some of his experience probably pay off. Some young guys, you have a play like that was such a big play, and the energy, those that were there, the energy, it was a major shift, and so a lot of young guys I think would have went in the tank. So I give him credit for keeping his head in it, keeping his composure. He made an error, he came back and played a lot of good ball for us.
You had a lot of great receivers during your time as a coach here as well as at Oklahoma. Where would you rank Mekhi Lemon right now?
I don't rank him while they play for me, but he's playing good ball for us right now. I mean, his versatility and consistency really stands out, to me in the way that he's playing. He's a guy that we feel like can, do a lot of different things well on the field, and that allows us to use him in different areas and be creative and try to, get him in situations where we feel like, the advantage is going to be ours. And yeah, he's improving. He works hard out here at his craft. Football's important to him, and he just keeps getting better and better. And I think our confidence in him just keeps growing as well.
Going back over the film, what was the takeaway, just in terms of the secondary, and where do you go forward with that group?
The biggest problem with the secondary was the two explosive plays that they throw, a swing pass and a hitch route, and they turn into massively explosive plays. We didn't leverage the football properly on two plays, and they made us pay. And that's the biggest takeaway. We had a few errors. You have a guy in there like a D. Reddick who hasn't played a lot of ball for us yet. Deep battled his tail off, and he actually made a lot of really good plays. We had a few errors here and there that have got to get better. We made some plays. We got beat a few times, but the biggest, we tackled. We had a lot of individual tackle efforts. Christian Pierce was off the charts again. He's playing so well right now. But the biggest thing is, you can't take a team like that and allow a hitch route and a swing pass to go the distance that they did. Those to me were the biggest things. You take those two off of it, it's going to be really tough for them to beat us. And but that's part of playing that position. There's nothing else behind you. And so, whether it's being where you got to be in coverage, whether it's leveraging the football on the correct shoulder. Those little things really show up big. You don't do that right at the D line, or in the first or second level, it might be a 10 or 12 yard play. You don't do it right in the secondary, the whole stadium's going to see it. And so we got to be better fundamentally in our tackling, and leveraging the football is the biggest thing that showed up.
When you have those big plays multiple weeks in a row in the secondary. Do you worry about confidence at all?
Yeah, well, I mean, confidence is built through preparation and then going out there and performing. I mean, confidence, you can't fake that. So, I mean, we're doing enough good things that like it should show up and there should be confidence from that. But if we keep making some of the mistakes that we've made, whether it's a busted coverage or like that, not leveraging the football, those are controllable on us. Like other people aren't even having to make plays that way. And so it's controllable. You got to come out here and do it. So, yeah, I mean, we've got to put in the work and the preparation. We've got the results have got to show out there on the field. We have good players in that room. Yes, we played with a lot of different guys the other day and some new lineups and all of that, but that's at the end of the day, you got to go perform, and these guys know what they need to do. And so we need to have a really good bye week here in the secondary, and then we need to go put it together and play a complete game.
How about the defensive line after getting such a good push those first 4 games? What did you see against Illinois that wasn't there?
Yeah, we weren't as good. I thought at times we played a little bit more undisciplined. It was a little bit different style of game, and I thought it took our guys a little bit to adjust, a little bit longer than we needed to adjust. Some of it was just the nature and the way that they called the game. I mean, you're not every game going to have a chance to have 7 or 8 sacks or all the time just fill up the stat book on the defensive line. But you can impact the game equally, and we had some really bright moments, but also I didn't feel like we consistently impacted the game that we have the way we have in the first few. And I think the biggest thing, it just took us too long to get started up front. So we got to start faster, and that group knows what we expect of them. And for us to play well, we definitely have got to be better there.
We haven't seen you use 2 quarterbacks much. Hassan had the nice run. What has he done to earn a role in his team?
I mean, he's just a backup quarterback. I mean, he's busted his tail, and we got a lot of confidence that when he goes in, that he's, that he's going to be able to operate our offense and make plays and do what he does out here on the practice field. So, yeah, when you become the backup quarterback, that's not an easy job to get either. I know a lot of people focus on the starter, but a place like USC, it's not easy to do that, especially for a young guy. So he's improving quickly, and I got a lot of confidence in him, no matter kind of what way he goes in the game.
You mentioned Kilian O'Connor and Elijah Page, their timetable. Was there a timetable on Bryan Jackson?
Not yet. I mean, we certainly don't feel like we've lost him for the season, but I couldn't sit here and say that he's for sure going to be available in the next couple of weeks.